Hello everyone, welcome to E-English class. I'm Vinod Kumar, a teacher from Kurnool district. In the last class, we did a pre-reading activity in the first unit of 10th class English textbook. The theme of the unit is personality development. And today we are going to see the A reading part of this unit, which is related to the theme. Let us see the meaning of this title. Attitude is altitude. Attitude is altitude is taken from www.dailymail.co.uk and other sources, and the date is 1st July 2009. This means this lesson was taken some 12 years ago, so there might be some changes. So this is the source where this lesson is taken from. Now let us see the meaning of this title. What is attitude and what is altitude? Attitude is the way of thinking or the way one behaves, or simply it is one's behavior. And altitude is the height that is above the sea level. So the title attitude is altitude means if your attitude determines your altitude, or your positive thinking will take you to a higher position. If you have positive thinking, you can reach great heights. So this can be the meaning of this title. And this is actually, the title altitude is actually a social emotional learning curriculum created by Nick, wherein he teaches the students to make some positive changes to their lives. So it is a special curriculum created by Nick. And this lesson may be divided into some parts for our convenience. We can call them slots or chunks, or you can also call them segments. So whatever name you give it, we're going to see the first part, that is the first slot of our lesson. And this slot, the first slot, begins at the first paragraph. Imagine having no arms to stretch, and runs through the second last paragraph on page number 3 of the textbook. Before we actually go through the reading paragraph, we shall see, or we shall know some things about Nick. See, this is the picture of Nick. You can see that he has no arms and legs, but a small foot on his left hip. This is Nick. Yeah. Nick, his name is Nick Vujicic. Yes, you heard me right. Nick Vujicic, pronounced as Nick Vujicic. There are some other pronunciations also. Some people uh, pronounce this as Nick Vujicic, and some pronounce it as Nick Vujicic. But Nick himself introduces him as Nick Vujicic. So let us stick on to this pronunciation. And who is he? Who is Nick Vujicic? Nick Vujicic is a motivational speaker and an advocate of anti-bullying. Bullying is actually, okay, we will be learning the meaning for this word later. So he is an advocate of anti-bullying. He fights for the people who are being bullied. Okay, let us see the biographical details of Nick in brief. Nick Vujicic, we call him, but his full name is Nicholas James Vujicic. Nicholas James Vujicic. His father's name is Boris Vujicic. Mother's name is Dashka Vujicic. And Nick was born on 4th December 1982. And the place of birth is Melbourne, Australia. So these are the biographical details of Nick. Nick's father, Boris Vujicic, was a computer programmer and an accountant, and his mother, Dashka, was a nurse. These are his biographical details. Now, let us see some pictures and try to understand the meanings associated with them, because these words are very important. We come across these words in our reading part. Okay, here you see two pictures. The picture on the left side is that of a golfer. He plays golf. Golf is a game which is in which the golfer hits the ball with a golf club to a particular hole. So club is the stick-like structure that is there in the hands of the golfer. It is like a bat. It's like a cricket bat, where the cricketer, the batsman, uses it to hit the ball. The same way, in golf, the golfer uses a club to hit the ball. And on the right side, you can see the picture of a surfer. This is surfing is a water sport in which the surfer tries to catch the waves. He rides wave with the help of a surfing board. You can see in the picture that a surfer is trying to catch the wave with the help of a board, and that board is called surfing board. You can see the picture of the surfing board in the next slide. Here in this slide, you see two boards. On the right side, on the left side, you see skateboard, and in the right side, you'll see a surfboard, a surfing board. You can easily find the difference. Skateboard is used to skate on the ground. It's a board used to skate on the ground, whereas a surfboard is used in the water sport called surfing. So that is the difference between skateboard and surfboard. And in the next slide, on the left, you can see the picture of a torso. Who is a torso? Torso is torso is the part of the body, not including the head, arms or legs. So the part of the body without head, arms and legs is called torso. Here you can find the word, the picture of torso. And on the right, you can see a chicken drumstick. A chicken drumstick. You might have seen this in films or in hotels. When you go to any hotel, you can see a chicken drumstick. So these are the words we need to understand, because we come across these words in the reading part. Now let us try to understand the reading part of the first slot, the paragraphs in the first slot. Imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning to that is the best decision they could have made for him. In the first paragraph, if you read it once or twice, you will understand that life without hands and legs is difficult. Because if I ask you, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? Generally, people have the habit of stretching their arms to be at ease in the morning, because all the night you sleep and your muscles get stuck, and to make them feel at ease, you stretch your arms. What if you do not have arms? Can you do that? No. And imagine that you have an itch on any part of your body. You think that you have an itch, and how do you scratch that if you do not have hands? Very difficult, right? Then if you see your loved one after a while, after some time, what will you do? You will immediately go to him or her and you place your arms around your loved one and hug him or hug her. If you do not have hands, you cannot do that. You cannot take your loved one into your arms. The same way, imagine the uses of legs. You need legs to walk or run, or to kick the football, or to play any game, or to ride a bicycle, to play football or skateboard or any other game. You need legs to walk from point A to point B, that is from one place to another. If you do not have all these arms and legs, you cannot do any of these things we discussed. But Nick Vujicic has faced all his life these problems. Have you heard anything like this before? Now, let us see some details of Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic was born with no arms and legs, but he doesn't let the details stop him. That means the absence of arms and legs could not prevent him from achieving what he had dreamt of. He is very brave, right? The brave 26-year-old, who is mainly a torso, plays football and golf, swims and surfs despite having no limbs. When this lesson is taken from www.dailymail.co.uk, Nick was 26-year-old, but now he is 38. Nick is a torso. We already learned the meaning of torso. The part of the body that has no arms and legs is called a torso. So Nick is a torso, but he plays football, he plays golf, he swims, he surfs, and he does a lot. This is all because this is possible because of a very small foot that is there on his left hip, and that small foot helps him balance and it enables him to kick. He uses this small foot to type, write with a pen, and pick things up between his toes. So all this is possible because of that small foot that is there on his left hip. And in the next paragraph, we can see that Nick calls his small foot a chicken drumstick. He calls it a chicken drumstick. He jokes that it is his chicken drumstick. And we already learned in the biographical details of Nick that he was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now he lives in Los Angeles. And where is this? Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a city in the state of California in America. So now Nick lives in America. He shifted from Australia to America and he lives there. And what are his interests besides playing football? He likes water sports. Nick likes water sports, and also he plays golf. He plays golf. And how is it possible? Because the club is very long. If you want to play golf, it's very difficult. But Nick tucks the club under his chin and he hits the ball. Very difficult, but he does that. And also, Nick likes football very much. He is a huge fan of the English Premier League. Mind you, this is not Indian Premier League, it is the English Premier League, a football tournament. Nick likes it very much. Now, let us see Nick's parents and their decision about sending him to a school. We know that Nick has no arms and legs. He is physically challenged. That means he is a special person. But his parents did not send him to a special school. You might have heard about special schools like the school for the blind. You might have heard some people saying blind school, but blind school, I don't think any school can be blind. So we say the school for the blind or the school for the deaf and the dumb. So we have special schools for physically challenged, but Nick's parents did not send him to any special school. Instead, they sent him to a mainstream school. But this decision was very hard for Nick. He struggled a lot in school. He suffered. But later, he says that this decision of his parents sending him to the mainstream school could have been the best decision for him. That was the best decision taken by his parents. So this is the end of the first slot. And let us try to recapitulate this entire slot with the help of some questions. And if you answer these questions, you will get the main points of this slot. So the question number 1. Who is Nick Vujicic? Nick Vujicic is a motivational speaker, an advocate of anti-bullying. Right? Okay. Where was he born? Where was Nick born? Nick was born in Melbourne, Australia. Do you remember the date? Yes, 4th December 1982. Where does he live now? Question number 3. Yes. Now Nick lives in Los Angeles in America. Then, who is a torso? A torso is a person who does not have arms and legs. So Nick is a torso. You can give the best example. Nick is a torso. What can Nick do with his foot? What can Nick do with his foot? He almost does everything that we do. Right? Yes. He plays football. He plays golf. He swims, surfs, despite having no limbs. But particularly, the question is, what can Nick do with his foot? So he can type, he can write with a pen, and he can pick things up between his toes. So this is the answer for that. And what games does Nick like? Football, golf, right? Yeah. Which school did Nick's parents send him to? Did Nick's parents send him to a special school, or did they send him to the mainstream school? And why? Nick's parents sent him to a mainstream school because they wanted him to be independent. They did not want their son to be treated as a special child, a special person. So they sent him to a mainstream school. So these are the main points in the slot, in the first slot. So this is the end of our slot. Thank you, and see you soon with another e-class and with the second slot. Until then, stay home, stay safe.